Right, so the corner fits weren't perfect. So what I did is I took my handy dandy Fordham tool with a diamond disc on here and was able to get in and get those corners to fit better by cutting into them. And then with a little block, this is actually my watchmaking pin setting block, but it works for other things too. Use it like a dolly in body work and tapped it into place. Got all those corners down so that they fit nice and tight. So now the only real fitting is going to be on the ends, which is not hard to do. I have reverse tension tweezers and different kind of iron wire clamping methods that will hold that shut while I solder the seams up using hard solder, silver solder, but a hard grade. And then as I'm building this up with the different components, I will use softer and softer grades of solder so that other parts won't become unsoldered as I'm using lower temperature solders up here. So this will remain untouched by the heat applications for the other components. And the solder is also gap filling, so if I don't have it perfectly sealed around the edges, the solder will jump that gap, fill that gap in. So, and that's how we're able to get a nice gas-tight seal on the saddle tank. And of course, we don't want alcohol leaking out of this, out of the lamp side of the torch. It's got to be sealed tight as well, and we'll do that next. So I'll go ahead and center punch where I want the hole to be, which is just a guess. It doesn't really matter. It's not accurate, but we'll just say that it is. Going to be around here. For the filler, and around here for the wick. So now I'll take it over to the bench here and cut it all out and take it over to the punch out the holes for that. Okay, so here is the lid bent over. The holes will be ground open to make that elongated. The edges have been bent over on my little finger brake. And that'll get fitted on, and we'll get that fitted on right now. Just give you an idea what it looks like. Hi, okay, so I've got the reservoir mechanically assembled enough to begin soldering. And so I've got a piece of iron wire to hold everything in place while we're soldering. Going to flux this with a material called Handy Flux. It's a commercially available flux for high temperature or silver soldering, and you can get plumbing supply would have this, maybe even craft supply. But it's what I use for the silver soldering. This jar here has lasted me about 3 years now, and I'm only about halfway through, so it goes a long way. So I'm going to show you the setup for the soldering. So this is my soldering tray. It's just a pie pan with pumice, stuff you use for gardening or a little bonsai or whatnot. It's like a refractory material. Anyway, I could anchor this, stabilize it, pile stuff up around this to keep it from moving. But first we're going to apply the flux. I get my handy dandy flux brush. I want to avoid getting it on the iron because we don't want that to solder to the copper. I'm using my jeweler's torch. It's an oxyacetylene system, very tiny tip. Redo that. Now what's going to happen next is I'm going to take this to a pickling bath of mild acid that will clean all this stuff up and make the metal bright again, get all the oxidation off. So we'll do that next.
Okay, that's it for that. Okay, here's the handle. Now we can start working on the saddle tank.